Unearth the secrets of the music world with the wildest conspiracy theories. From Avril Lavigne's alleged clone to Tupac's mysterious post-1996 life in Cuba, buckle up for a mind-bending ride. Join us in unraveling the most jaw-dropping mysteries that have rocked the very core of the music industry. Let's start with the theory that I'm sure you have heard of, Avril Lavigne being replaced by a clone. According to this theory, Avril passed away shortly after her album release in 2003 and was replaced by a doppelganger named Melissa Vandella. This can be traced back to a Brazilian blog called Avril Está Morta in 2011, where it talked about the assumed death of the artist. A Twitter thread boosted everything with evidence to support the bizarre theory, with one of the most convincing parts being a photo of Avril where she had Melissa written on her hand. Old photos were compared to new ones, and everyone pointed out the slight differences in facial features and her overall personality. Are you really expecting some of us to believe that the creator of Hello Kitty and Skater Boy are the same person? Her interviews didn't pass the vibe check either, because her body language, handwriting, and presence during interviews were different too. Avril never addressed the theories and left the internet to decide what the truth was. But there have been hundreds of similar conspiracy theories, and Avril isn't the first musician thought to be dead and replaced, because Paul McCartney of the Beatles has had this rumor running since the 1960s. This rumor stated that McCartney died in a car crash in 1966, and since the band was at their prime, they had him replaced with a double. Fans picked up clues from hidden song lyrics played backwards, and in album artwork with subtle symbols and imagery that could be interpreted as references to Paul's death. Strawberry Fields Forever has a bit at the end of John Lennon's tune where a backward effect can be heard, and him saying cranberry juice sounds awfully similar to the phrase, "I buried Paul." Other clues were caught in the White Album and Glass Onion, which was a song written for Lennon to make fun of people who overanalyzed his lyrics. His saying that the walrus was Paul was yet another clue, because in many European countries, the walrus is a symbol of death. There are a ton of other clues. Like in the song I'm So Tired, where when played backwards, the gibberish that Lennon utters sounds like Paul is a dead man, followed by miss him, twice. Perhaps one of the biggest giveaways was the cover of Abbey Road, where Paul is the only member walking barefoot. In interviews, he said that the shoes were tight, but fans believe that this is yet another clue of his demise, since the dead usually walk barefoot on the other side. Now, there are a lot of stars who changed after a major event in their lives, such as Eminem, Gucci Mane, Kodak Black, Lil Durk, and many more. But apart from death and replacement, I don't think the next conspiracy comes close to what David Bowie said, which made fans lose their minds. Not only is his concept album, The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, a few words too long, but it also features an iconic figure in pop culture as his alter ego. Some people think that Bowie's portrayal of Ziggy Stardust foreshadowed the birth of Kanye West as the groundbreaking and influential musician he is today. Fans pointed out how Ziggy and Ye are not too different in terms of their creativity, revolutionary ideas, and impact on the music and fashion industries. I mean, the album cover is literally a picture of him standing underneath a sign that reads K West. The first song, titled 5 Years, has Bowie singing about how we've only got 5 years left until the end of the earth. Now, for the craziest part, guess who was born exactly 5 years after the release of the album? Kanye West. Before he died in 2016, he released his final album, Black Star, with the third track, Lazarus. This is taken from the story in the Bible where Jesus brings Lazarus back to life, and if you look closely at West's 2013 album, Yeezus, the third track is called I Am a God. Some may argue that this was just Ye's narcissism talking, but many think that these are all clues that he is the true successor of the one and only David Bowie. But his concept of Ziggy Stardust was more about exploring themes of fame, identity, and societal commentary than specifically predicting a future artist's impact on the world. So I guess you can say that this isn't the most valid of theories out there. But do you want to know one that is definitely true? And that's that Beyonce and Jay-Z are part of the Illuminati. Well, part of is a likely understatement, because with a combined net worth of nearly $3 billion, I'd say they're the leaders of the Illuminati. Symbols like the Eye of Providence, which can easily be done with your hands, have been theorized to be linked to the secretive and shadowy organization that controls world events. Apart from triangles, symbolism from ancient Egypt like Katy Perry's music video for Dark Horse and sonic imagery like Playboi Carti and Lil Uzi Vert's new aesthetic are usually taken as a hint at the theory. Although Jay-Z and Beyonce may deny these claims and allegations, repeated events over the last 2 decades with similar rituals to become an established member of the organization are simply too coincidental. Take Doja Cat, for example. After her 27th birthday with an Eyes Wide Shut theme party, her entire personality has done a complete 180. The couple explains that their success has no secret society involved, and it's all thanks to their hard work, talent, and strategic business decisions. I think this is one of the most popular conspiracy theories out there that's still popular to this day, because as soon as an artist uses a triangle, an eye, or any reference to the devil, fans are quick to point them out as members of the Illuminati. In other news, the segue between this theory and the next might be a little distasteful. Now I'm talking about an eye being used as a symbol of a secret society. And next, about how Stevie Wonder isn't even blind to begin with. Now this artist is known for his impressive talent as a musician, without being able to see at all. What may have become a meme by now was a very convincing conspiracy theory at first, because people noticed that Wonder would react to visual stimuli or situations that seemed inconsistent with someone who is blind. There have been moments where he caught himself falling and interacted in ways that suggested that those eyes underneath the 6 shades were completely fine. One can argue that many people don't really have a clear idea of how blindness works, because there are a lot of different variations of the disability. Just because Stevie Wonder wears shades doesn't mean his perspective is pitch black. Also, if you're a Daredevil fan, you would know that blind people usually get a heightened sense elsewhere, most of which is the sense of hearing or smell. And to end this video on a lighter note, I'll be talking about the next theory, which claims that Tupac is still alive. Everyone knows that the rapper died back in 1996 in a shooting in Las Vegas, but fans choose to ignore the headlines, police reports, and autopsy reports because everyone thinks that Tupac Shakur is very much still alive. Like many artists and conspiracy theories, fans overanalyze his lyrics, which suggest that he planned his disappearance, and point out that the investigations were very inconsistent to begin with. His posthumous album, Machiavelli, was promoted with the tagline, "Listen very carefully." The music video for the lead single, Hail Mary, featured Tupac literally rising from the earth. A new theory claims that Tupac switched himself with a double right after he found out that someone put a bounty on his head. Rick Boss, the director of Tupac, The Great Escape from UMC, said that Tupac is hiding out in New Mexico. The craziest part? He also said that his family knows about the movie and is okay with the title. In a TV interview, Ice-T said that Tupac's son, Jacob, also claimed that his father was alive and living in Malaysia. I think he also said something about working on a new album too. The artist's relevance to this day is somewhat mind-boggling, to say the least. Don't get me wrong, he made a huge impact on the rap community, but does this mean you get to perform at Coachella via hologram? I would argue that it was not a hologram in the first place, but after all these years, his body would definitely be aging and have a few more wrinkles. Is Tupac still alive, living in Cuba, and laughing at all of us 20 years later? Or are we all just stretching this theory to its limit? Either way, I think it's safe to say that the memes about it are pretty hilarious. And so, from Tupac Shakur living in Cuba to Avril Lavigne being only one of the many stars replaced by a clone, those were the craziest music conspiracy theories. Let me know if I missed any of your favorite theories in the comments below. Like and subscribe for more of my content, and I'll see you next time.